Hey guys, today we're talking about breathing exercises that you can do to heal your diastasis recti or your abdominal gap. And they're really quick, and once you get the hang of it, you can do it anytime, anywhere, and really make some progress for your diastasis recti. I also have a playlist of diastasis recti videos, and I will continue to add to it. So if you like videos like these, make sure that you subscribe and ding the bell to get notified every Wednesday when we put out a new video. If you're not sure whether you have diastasis recti, I'll also link to a video where you can do a self-test on yourself. But of course, I always recommend going to see your doctor, or pelvic floor physiotherapists are amazing. And if you need individualized medical attention, then they can be really helpful for you. If you're just learning about diastasis recti is a gap down your abdominal muscles, your six-pack muscles, or your linea albia, which is the line that goes down the center of your stomach, and it is a split or herniation down the middle that's caused from the stretching of your abdominal muscles during pregnancy, and it's very common. I've talked a lot about exercises that we can do to heal our diastasis recti gap, the ones that I use to heal my forefinger diastasis recti gap, but today I'm going to be talking about breathing and bracing as the exercise that we can do any time of the day that we can kind of squeeze in to help bring those muscles together, working on our transversus abdominis, our inner layer, deepest abdominal muscles. We can also incorporate this breathing and bracing technique with our exercises to increase the safety and effectiveness of the exercises. So very quickly, before I show you the technique, I'm going to talk about the different ways that we breathe. So there's three different ways that we breathe. So the first is chest breathing, and then the second is belly breathing, and then the one that we want to do is diaphragmatic breathing. So often if we're stressed or we're not thinking about breathing, we can do chest breathing. So that would be little quick breaths into our chest. So you can see my chest is moving there. And then belly breathing. So if you're more relaxed, especially if you're lying down and you're able to take bigger breaths and your belly is expanding there. But that's not practical for all the time. And what we want to focus on while we're exercising or we're working on our core is diaphragmatic breathing. Our diaphragm is a skeletal muscle that is attached to the ribs and separates our chest cavity from our abdominal cavity. And actually, when we contract our diaphragm, it creates a vacuum effect, and then we pull air into our lungs, and that's how we breathe. And then when we relax our diaphragm, we exhale. So we are contracting our diaphragm, breathing, and relaxing is when we exhale. So if we're doing diaphragmatic breathing, which is what we want to do, we should actually see our ribs expand. So inhale, and this allows us to keep our core, especially our transverse abdominis, our deeper layer of abdominal muscles, engaged so that we can really work in closing that gap and especially working on the functionality of our abdominal muscles. Let me know in the comments which type of breathing you think that you've been doing, chest, belly, or diaphragmatic breathing, and if you see how it can be beneficial to do the diaphragmatic breathing while you're doing your exercises. Okay, so I'm going to get down onto the ground and show you guys. So always getting down on the side if you have diastasis recti to not cause any coning here. And I'm going to pull up my shirt so that you can see what I'm doing. And I do also have a belly button hernia, and so that's not something that I can fix with exercises. So we're just going to have to deal with that for now. So in terms of, so we're going to practice our diaphragmatic breathing first. So and then to add the breathing exercise, we are going to pull in our lower belly as if we're zipping up pants, and we want to suck in our lower belly to make sure that it doesn't get caught in the zipper. So that feeling. And at the same time, we want to do a Kegel. So picturing that there is a blueberry at the opening of your vagina and you're pulling that blueberry up into yourself. And so we're going to do that at the same time as our diaphragmatic breathing. And 1, 2, 3, zip, Kegel, and we're keeping it activated there. To take this one step further, we can do a bracing or contraction a little bit more, which is the similar feel to as if you were coughing. So give a fake cough and feel inside your hip bones. So that feeling of tightening there, we want to replicate that, but obviously not when we're coughing. So we want to zip, kegel, and brace or contract. It should feel nice and taut there. When you're relaxed, your fingers should be able to sink in. And then when we're zipped and braced, it should be nice and tight there. And that contraction is actually helping the transversus abdominis, those deep inner layer muscles, come together and strengthen. And that's what we want to continue to strengthen and work on. So we can also add this to our exercises, and it protects our core. So especially, so let's say we're on our back and we're going to do our toe taps. We're wanting to do our diaphragmatic breath so that we can keep our lower belly zipped and braced, and then we're lifting up, and that's keeping nice and safe and working on those transverse abdominal muscles. This is also a technique that you can do if you have to lift something heavier than you should. And so like our kids, so they say you want to avoid lifting anything heavy, but if you are lifting anything, hopefully not too heavy, and you do that brace, it's going to help protect if it's something that you can't avoid lifting. And so it's easiest to do this lying down, and it is a lot to put together. So you can practice lying down, and then you can practice sitting up, and then standing, and then you can incorporate it several times throughout your day. When you're done getting up nice and safely, always rolling onto your side and pushing up. And in the description box below, I will link to the complete guide on how you can heal your diastasis recti gap, or how I healed my 4-finger diastasis recti gap after my pregnancy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did find it helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and comment below and let me know how old your baby or your child is and how big your gap is. You can click there to access the whole Diastasis Recti playlist that I have put together so far and that I will continue to add to, and you can click there to subscribe to my channel.